When it rains, it pours for the San Francisco 49ers, falling to the Seattle Seahawks in a just disgusting fashion. And I think I can speak for everyone when they say frustration and disappointment on the season is at an all-time high. And what today is how do we get here? What are the 49ers? Is there a chance that they continue to move forward? And so we're getting a lot of opinions from people outside the 49ers and where they are at. And Adam Schefter joins the Pat McAfee show to discuss if he's worried about the 49ers. And he says, spoiler alert, I've been worried since the beginning of the season. Take a listen to what he had to say right here.
Yeah, Shefty, yesterday the 49ers in a game that kind of everybody would have thought maybe they do squeeze it out somehow, kind of the opposite of the Chargers' effect of recent memory. They lose to the Seahawks after a Geno Smith touchdown with 13 seconds left. Obviously, no Kittle, so they were a little banged up. But is it time to start worrying about the 49ers a little bit? They're last in the division, even though the division's very, very close. What's going on over there, and do you think they're going to be able to figure it out here?
I think it was time to start worrying about the 49ers all season long. They have not been the same team. It's just been a challenge all year long. Like things continue not to go right for this team, and it's like all the injury breaks that they've gotten in other years, they don't get this year. Like Nick Bosa goes out of the game yesterday with a new hip injury. Geno has time down the stretch. He's running around making things happen. They've ill-timed penalties at the wrong time. They're missing George Kittle. It's one of those years where it just feels like every time it seems like it's starting to go in their direction, boom, setback. Okay, they get back McCaffrey, they pull out the win, they lose to Seattle. They can never string it together. Every time you think, okay, here come the Niners, because they're the Niners, and that's what we all expect out of the Niners. Mm-hmm. Something happens to halt that momentum. And the scramble yesterday from Geno late in the game on second down with 12 seconds left to go into the end zone to win the game for Seattle. I think they had beaten Seattle 8 straight times. Geno hadn't beaten the Niners in Seattle. Most of these Seahawks players had never beaten the 49ers. And here they are in San Francisco, a team that finally got back Christian McCaffrey. You think that here come the Niners, and that's not what happened. So the good part for the Niners is nobody is running away with that division. The Cardinals are coming off a bye in first place. Cardinals play the Seahawks this week. There's a lot of football left, but the 49ers have already lost their divisional games. They've put themselves behind the 8 ball here. They've made life tougher for themselves, and it just has not felt like their year all season.
Seahawks being all the way back, and Geno Smith playing great ball against a...
Seems like the defensive line not getting the pressure when it needs it, allowing those runs late in the game. It's just not the same defensive line that it was last year. You see some of the guys leave. There's only so many losses you could with.
Well, the Cardinals leading it is also awesome.
Yeah, you pointed out the Niners are in last, but they're also within a game of first. And it's just going to be these divisional battles every single week that decide it. But nobody's been able to get real momentum going. The Cardinals have looked like, frankly, the strongest team so far. 10 games in for them, and we'll see if they can keep it up. They play with an energy and enthusiasm. Back to the Niners a second. It just seems like the defensive line not getting the pressure when it needs it, allowing those runs late in the game. It's just not the same defensive line that it was last year. You see some of the guys leave. There's only so many losses you could withstand, but there's an opportunity there for Arizona, for the Rams, for the Seahawks. Seahawks took advantage of it yesterday, and this division is going to go back and forth like this a few different times. There'll be a few more twists and turns left before we can figure out who's going to win the NFC West. But Seattle's right in the thick of it right now, and if Geno plays like that at crunch time, they're going to have a good shot.
I think if you are a realist and you follow this team, you kind of felt like Adam Schefter this year. With all the tumultuous offseason contract negotiations that just poured more bad energy on top of a Super Bowl loss, it just felt like everyone was drained by it. As someone who gets on camera and talks to you guys every single day, interacts with thousands and thousands of fans every single day, I know how you guys feel. I have a read on the fan base. I see it. I hear it. And everyone was completely stressed out. by that situation. And it was like the 49ers and the fans never got a break. And I would have to imagine internally that's how they felt too, because anytime they did anything, anytime they had, to speak in, is always asked about like contract negotiations and all those different types of things. And it just like, it never ended. It dragged on all the way until the beginning of the season. And then it just was like, oh, the season's here. That there was never a clean break. There was never a like, okay, let's reset, new slate, wipe it clean, and move forward. And it's just bad energy. A lot of bad energy has just followed the 49ers throughout this year. And just like, Adam Schefter was talking about, 49ers got a lot of good luck, and that's required. We talk about it all the time as one of the variables to returning to the Super Bowl and getting back to the Super Bowl is the ball has to bounce your way. Yes, you have to execute, you have to play well, but the ball also has to bounce your way. And, that's not happening. The injuries, uh, the lack of execution, the complete just spiraling in the fourth quarter, which continues to define this now regime at this point, is losing leads in the fourth quarter. It's becoming who they are, and that is, I think, the most terrifying aspect of this is that that's what you're becoming known for, and what is becoming like the stamp of like, oh, tell us about the Kyle Shanahan San Francisco 49ers. Oh, they lose fourth quarter leads in the biggest games and Super Bowls and regular season games. And that's where the worry lies. And so as it stands, the 49ers, they're not officially mathematically out of it, but I can guarantee you the entire fan base is fully concerned about the remaining slate, the remaining schedules, where the 49ers go from here. It is not an easy schedule. They have a daunting 2-game road stretch against the Packers and Bills. Bills just beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Bills are one of the best teams in the NFL right now. Packers are beatable, but again, 49ers have to go on the road to the Packers, and that's no easy task. The season could come to a smashing end very soon. Again, it's not yet, but it's close. It's pretty close. So I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel. You now have had time to sleep on it. You've now had time to kind of look around, see some of the early conversations this morning, and it's tough, man. It's the conversation is worried. I think we're all worried. I think we're all like, okay, this is real. We knew this conversation would have been the same if they lost to the Bucks. They squeaked out that win, and we knew that they needed this one, especially heading into this stretch, and they let it slip. And that's 3 NFC West opponents that they have lost to with the lead in the fourth quarter. And now that puts I mean, again, you look at the standings, there's still like a game out of first, which is insane. But they got to win. They got to win a lot of games. They can't lose. And their back is officially against the wall. So what do you guys think about what Adam Schefter had to say? I'm really, curious to see how your guys' woke up this morning, how you guys are feeling. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.